All right, welcome everyone. This is the 18th episode of the Do No Evil, Speak No Evil show, where I interview awesome individuals making a positive local impact. I'm your host, Blair Neher, aka the Chief Primate. Today, my guest is the fabulous Kim Hill of the Chesterfield Food Bank. Kim is the CEO and director of the food bank, and thanks for being on the show today, Kim.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for asking me.
Absolutely. Today, we're actually recording at the actual food bank. We had a room to use, so we took advantage and stayed local. So thanks for us letting you use the facility, and thank you for being one of the nonprofit partners of Talking Monkey Media. I appreciate that as well. All right, so let's get into it. I always like to start off right with people's stories, so let's talk about it. Your story, your passion, your why, and how that led you to leading the food bank.
Well, for 15 years, I was in sales and finance. And I had a dear friend who told me about Travis and Carrie Whittle, who are the founders of the Chesterfield Food Bank. And they were they were also pastoring a church here on site called Gathering Grounds Ministries. And so I came to check out, see what was going on here. And met Travis and Carrie. And I started listening to their vision of what they wanted to do in the community for Chesterfield. And they had a food ministry that was also taking place as Gathering Grounds Ministries. And they were feeding anywhere from 30 to 70 people a week in the community.
Okay.
The cool thing about what they were doing is there were people that were living in the woods, and there were people that were dealing with serious hard times that were coming here for help and looking for a place that they felt welcome, that they could give back to the community. Mm-hmm. And so Travis and Carrie were opening up their arms, loving on these people, ministering to them, and thus birthed the church, birthed the beginning of giving out food to those in need. Plus, Travis and Carrie had a vision. They knew they wanted to do a food ministry at its best. And what I mean by that is we just didn't want to give people food that's going out of date and tell them that God loves them, but hurry up and cook it before it goes bad. You know, if you won't eat it, then you don't give it to anybody else.
Right.
And and food ministries out there are wonderful, but sometimes we have to deal with what's donated, and that's the hard part. And we wanted to be able to give out food with excellence, with dignity. Nobody's any different than we are. They want to have, right, they want to have fresh fruits and vegetables and meat and cook good meals for their families just like we do. And they're just going through a hard time. So they need not feel that they're less than at all. And so here I am meeting the Whittles and what they've started here. And they had just, they've been going for about a year after when I met them. And I'm sitting at work and I cannot get this place off my mind. I am doing my job, sitting at my desk, doing contracts. And as soon as I could put the papers to the side, I'm grabbing a notebook, writing down all kinds of stuff. And little did I know, I was writing a business plan until I went back and looked at it again and the pages and the pages of notes that I had. So I met with Travis and Carrie, and I told them, I said, look, this is what you guys are doing as a church, but this is what I think we can do and the impact we can have on our community. And we all got very excited. And it was about a month later that I came home and I looked at my husband and I said, I think I'm supposed to quit my job and help Travis and Carrie start a food bank. Well, after he got over the shock of what I just said about quitting my job, Um, we talked about it again, and we prayed about it. And he felt like that it was what I was supposed to do, is what we were supposed to commit to.
Mm-hmm.
And so somewhere 2011, 2012, I went ahead and made the step, and I quit my job. And that's when we started working hard on the food bank.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been about 6 years at full speed then.
6 years of full speed. Hasn't stopped. But I love it.
Awesome. So let's talk about the food bank itself, because it's just incredible what you guys do. And so let's get into the specifics. And I know you got lots of numbers and facts to wow us all, because every time I hear you drop these, I'm amazed. It doesn't seem like Chesterfield's that big, but there are certainly plenty that are going hungry, and certainly plenty that you're helping with. So
yeah, it's staggering. People don't realize that we have as many people as we do in Chesterfield, children and seniors and struggling families, right here in our own backyard. And we have schools now that are being that are now Title I schools in areas that we never thought that would be labeled as a Title I school.
So let's pause right there. What is a Type 1?
A Title I.
Title 1.
Title I school is, I'm not quite sure about the percentages. I want to say over 50% or 55% poverty level for the families of the children that go to that school.
And so some schools have been moved from Title 2 to Title 1? Is that the lowest?
No, just being when you're a Title I school, they know that they're at a level where the households need help, and it's a lower income level.
So some new schools have been given that classification. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And like I said, in areas of Chesterfield that you never thought would be classified as Title I schools.
Okay.
Yeah. But I said all that to say is that means there's a growing number of families that are struggling. There's a growing number of children that rely on their food at school as their main nutritious meal for the day. And today we live in an age that that children worry about. They know they're smarter than ever. They know what's going on in the home. They know that mom and dad are struggling. And boy, are they troopers. Those kids are troopers. And they are just some of our best food drives come from our Title I schools.
Okay.
Those kids want to share. They understand. They understand their neighbors and the kids that are sitting beside them at their desk needing help, or that there's not a lot of food at home. And they just give out of their need. And it's amazing. It's amazing that children are so empathetic, and when they have such empathy for each other when it comes to this subject.
That's sweet. So I have some of the programs. You have your main food distribution on Friday nights.
Yeah. Can I back you up a little bit?
Sure, absolutely.
When we decided to let Gathering Grounds go, the church, and just become a food bank, what we were trying to accomplish was to create neutral ground for the whole community to come together and work together to eradicate hunger, if we could, in Chesterfield.
Regardless of religion.
Regardless of religion. And
or lack of.
Yeah, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Humanitarian work.
There you go.
Everybody should eat.
As it should be, right?
Right, exactly. Well, that group that I was telling you about, that Travis and Carrie ministered to, and they were the group that I had to work with on starting this food bank. And we're sitting around the table, and I said, guys, watch what God does with passion to help our community. And Kim, we don't have the skills. Kim, I said, did you guys ever see Rudolph? And they said yes. And I said, remember the land of misfit toys? I said, watch what God does with the land of misfit toys. And from there, you would not believe the sacrifice and the work that everybody put into year after year after year to where we've grown to the point that we are now. We've gone from feeding 30 to 70 people a week in the beginning to over 2,000 people a week now.
Holy moly.
Yeah. But we're reaching the areas. It's not that the need has just grown that much. We're reaching the areas of need in our community. Yeah.
I gotcha.
And so yes, now what you asked me about our programs. Our biggest program is Food on the Move. And Food on the Move was one of the biggest steps we ever made. We've always had Friday night distribution here. And when we started reaching numbers of 500 and 600 people on a Friday night that we don't have parking for, so then we went to 2 distributions on a Friday night. We had a 4 o'clock distribution and a 6 o'clock distribution. And then when that wasn't even enough, we knew we had to take it out to the community and get the food to them. And that's what started our Saturday morning distributions, which we have 4 different locations all over the county that we distribute to. We pack our tractor trailer, our trucks, and we take our forklift and to unload those trucks. And because we know what it's like to unload by hand before we had these things. And we feed about the same amount of people that we do on a Friday night here in Chester at each one of our distribution sites.
Holy moly.
Yeah, every Saturday morning.
So that's really grown.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
That's amazing.
And that started out at one location we tried at Virginia State University, and they gave us one of their buildings, and we wanted to serve the people of Ettrick. That was our very first off-site distribution. And it was amazing. We could not believe the seniors and the people and the families that needed help down in Ettrick. That's why we picked them first.
Okay.
And from Ettrick, we meet at Hopkins, right there on Hopkins Road in Chippenham.
Mm-hmm.
And then we meet at Reams Road Elementary. We meet at Chalkley Elementary.
So is it like a caravan?
No. We have one site per Saturday. So like the first Saturday's Hopkins, second Saturday's Reams.
I gotcha.
Third Saturday's Ettrick, and the fourth Saturday is Chalkley.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So what that does is Chester's not always convenient for those that either have transportation problems or seniors.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're now in areas that they can get to. Yeah.
Okay. So it breaks it up for them. Like
Mm-hmm.
they might have to come on the off week or the second week or something like that if they need
They
to.
can use our services within the month however they need to.
Oh, nice.
So they can pick a location that fits their schedule.
Gotcha. All right. So the next one I have is the Kids Summer Program. I know this is a huge one. And the reason why is that the meals stop in the summer, correct?
Exactly. In school.
In school.
Right.
And so kids that are in school or just kids that's just where the distribution is.
No. Kids that normally rely on free and reduced meals during the school year, they don't have access to those type of nutritious meals during the summer.
I gotcha.
So we met with social services, and we talked about this problem 4 years ago. And so we got together as a board and as a food bank, and we were like, how can we ease this problem a little bit? So again, our first site was Ettrick.
Okay.
We went down to Ettrick Elementary, And we gave out about 4,000 meals the very first year. And this year, 2018, we have 12 sites.
Wow.
For the summer, and we gave out over 90,000 meals for the summer.
That's crazy, Kim.
And there are other programs out there, summer programs, but federally funded programs where kids can go to libraries and other community buildings to have a hot meal. But if mom and dad are working or they don't have any way of getting there, they can't go there to sit down and eat. We believe that families need food in their home, that the food is available right there in their own cupboards,
instead of like a soup kitchen type scenario.
Exactly. So the children and the families that are able to take advantage of the summer program, per child they get a bag of a week's worth of breakfast items and a week's worth of lunch items. Okay. And that's per child.
Wow. Okay.
Through the summer. And we've, at the end of our program, we served, out of all the children we served, 89% of those kids were on the free and reduced plan at school.
Holy cow.
So we're hitting the right folks.
Absolutely.
That's exciting.
Absolutely.
That we're getting to who we need to get to.
All right, the next program on the list is the Jefferson Davis Hot Meal Program.
I love that program too. Another area of need, big need in our community.
Jeff Davis corridor.
Yeah. Heartbreaking situations with families and people that live in the motels with just a hot plate or small refrigerators, and or the homeless in that area. And so again, we started praying about it. How can we be a part in this area, could make it somewhere to have a hot meal every night? And that's how that got started.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So every night?
Every night.
Oh, wow. That's impressive. And the last one I have is No Senior Hungry.
Like our children, we love our seniors. Not that we don't love everybody. But most of our seniors that take advantage of our program live on less than $1,500 to $1,800 a month. And the seniors' income is not going to change. So what we've done is they qualify once for our program. And then they are allowed to get food twice a month from us forever and ever. Amen. Okay. I don't ask them to qualify again. That's because things aren't going to change. But what we wanted to do is, with the growing issues that seniors have to deal with their medical bills and health care costs, prescriptions, and some of them are taking care of grandchildren. They're raising grandchildren.
Yes. I saw that on the distribution nights I've been here.
Yeah. So we just didn't want our seniors to ever have to worry about food. And that is a program that will, none of our programs I foresee going away. Mm-hmm. But
that's a staple.
I don't apologize for taking care of our seniors like that. And our baskets that we give out at our distributions are easily worth $200 to $300. They probably have to share with their neighbors and share with other seniors,
the grandchildren,
but that's okay. That's okay. I mean, I like to know that Chesterfield is a community that we know that our children and our seniors are so well taken care of. And hunger and food, they might have a lot of other issues, but hunger and food are not one of them.
That's awesome. So any programs that aren't out there yet in the works, or that you're allowed to drop any hints on? Spoiler alerts. Spoiler alert.
We are looking for, in 2019, We have two things that we're going to be working on really hard. And even though the Chesterfield Food Bank, I feel like, has done a good job for the past 8 years on awareness in our community, there's still a lot of people that don't realize what all the Chesterfield Food Bank does in the community. And we are really going to be very heavy on visiting businesses, getting more businesses involved, using their volunteer time to come and do nights, Friday nights, and other distribution time with the food bank with their employees. But as far as a program is concerned, we are thinking about what we were just talking about, the seniors. We think that we're going to have a program. I'm working on the details now. We're going to take 15 to 20 seniors and that want to be more involved in the community and want to help the food bank, and we're going to train them in things that maybe they've never done before. Like, we have seniors that have never even turned on a computer, and now they're doing data entry. And they're having a great time being a part of what we do here at the food bank. So these seniors that are willing to give us 10 to 15 hours a week, we're going to allow them to go ahead and grocery shop and get their groceries on a weekly basis here.
Okay.
And that will be a huge, huge savings to them. And personal care items and stuff like that. Maybe some things that we don't normally give out at our bigger distributions.
Mm-hmm.
And in turn, we're going to be able to train them, give them some more skills. Maybe they just need to refresh their skills, or just getting back involved in the community again.
With a purpose.
With a purpose. You're exactly right.
That can make a huge difference in life.
Yes. Yes. And I'm very excited about that. Very excited about that program. I'm still, working on the details of it, but it is to come.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Like a work trade program.
Yeah.
All right, I got some numbers for you, and you can update these as I say them.
Okay.
500,000 meals served.
Oh, we're up to about 1.9.
1.9 million.
No, excuse me. 1.9 million pounds of food.
Pounds of food. All right.
We've given out, yeah.
So 450 families helped weekly.
And we're closer to
800?
800. Oh, weekly. That's
Yeah.
2,000 a week.
Oh, then, all right. So my numbers are way out of date. So 5 distribution hubs, is that correct?
That's correct.
And then 7,000 volunteers make it happen.
We're at 8 now.
8,000. And that's kind of, the kind of where I wanted to pause and let you talk a bit about how people can help. And so in the description of this video, I will have the link to the Chesterfield Food Bank, and there's a volunteer tab there where you can volunteer in a dozen different ways. Exactly. And I know that you can set up, if you're a business owner, you can set up a box, a Chesterfield Food Bank box at your location for pickup. Mm-hmm. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So tell us all about the different ways we can help.
Okay. For businesses and organizations, like you said, food drives are awesome. It is a good way to get your employees involved, for them to get their neighbors involved. And it's neighbor helping neighbor, and so we do deliver. We have a food drive packet, just shopping list and any information they need on the food bank, and of course the boxes, and we help any way we can with their food drive. But then our trucks will come pick it up. They don't even have to haul the food and try to get it in vehicles and get it here. We'll come pick it up. We've actually had homeowners associations that the drop-off point is somebody's garage, But that's okay. I mean, the neighborhood gets together, they do their thing, and they make a good time out of it. And so the whole community, and Hampton Park Men's Club is a great example of that. They get together as a community, and they do certain events through the year just to help feed the Chesterfield community.
Nice.
Yeah. And we have other homeowners associations that do that too. Businesses, businesses allow employees to have so many volunteer work hours a month. And so we like to become a part of that plan with their organization. And of course they come to the distributions, and they'll plan it like once a quarter, come and serve at the food bank, and they push carts, and it's a very eye-opening experience.
I bet.
Then we have employee match programs where businesses will allow their employees to choose the Chesterfield Food Bank as their charity of choice for however much that they decide they want to donate, and the employer will match it. And we definitely need more of those.
Okay.
Finances, we can make a dollar stretch a long way. We are one of Feedmore's biggest agency in their partnering agencies, and we have a great relationship with Feedmore.
It's an awesome organization.
It is, and we buy food from them to help with our distributions and to feed the amount of people that we feed, and we can buy it cents on the dollar because we're part of the Feed America and Feedmore food agencies.
Okay. Awesome. So at an individual level, how can individuals volunteer?
Individuals can go online. We during the week, people can volunteer 10 to 2, Monday through Friday. And then, of course, we have our distribution times. Or they can volunteer for one of the other programs. They can be a part of the kids' summer program. We always need people that'll help with, especially with our bigger programs. We need a lot of people, and we need a lot of food.
And money.
And money. Oh, yeah, don't forget the money.
Yeah, I knew the volunteer piece was a big part of all this, so I'm trying to make sure everybody knows how that they can get involved.
Yeah.
All right, so switching gears a little bit, I'm always interested in talking about growth and scaling and what that looks like for each business. And at the end of the day, this is a business. It's a nonprofit that has a wonderful beneficial function, but it still runs like a business. So talk about what has been key to your success in scaling into the growth that you've experienced since you've been here, because you've taken this from a very, very small entity to something very massive. So talk about that.
It's a step-by-step process. Your vision, anybody's vision, can be huge, but you need to go through the process in order to make it work. And I learned the hard way in the beginning, and one of the biggest things I learned was stay in your lane. When you stay in your lane and you do what you're supposed to do, and you just keep working and going down the road of doing it better and better and better, and you don't get involved in things that maybe you weren't supposed to do. And you need to know the difference. You need to know what's just a great idea over there, but you have to pass on it because it's not what you're called to do. So once I got a good grip on that, which we all have to learn. Sometimes I tell people I'm not the brightest apple on the tree.
Yeah, right.
But anyways, then it was awareness. I knew Chesterfield. I knew with everything in my gut, Chesterfield was an awesome community that would be willing to take care of itself. And the more and more I talk to people about that message, that we can take care of our own, and we don't need to have some of the problems that we have in Chesterfield, because we have the resources to either make it better or fix it. And that's what I honestly believed with the food bank. That's why we're not federally funded. I chose not to be federally funded with those programs because I didn't want to take a chance on starting programs that people need, and because of administrations or because of whatever, the program goes away.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have to take the program from the people. We have to remove it because we can't afford to do it anymore. If we stay community supported and our community stays involved, then we don't have to take anything away, and we could be consistent and something that people can count on.
So does that translate into the people from Chesterfield that have chipped in, or what the Chesterfield community does to support you? Because I know this wouldn't happen without people, and finding the right people and being able to attract the right people is a huge deal.
Well, we don't really look at it like attract the right people. What we look at it like is we just let people know what we do, and this is a great opportunity for them to be involved. And because we offer a situation where the whole family can come and volunteer, even down to the 3-year-old can sit in the front of the cart, can help put bananas in a shopping cart, can talk to clients and love on them. It's really something for everybody. Everybody can help with what we do, and that has been huge. And the kind hearts in this community is absolutely amazing. And because of that, and because people started to believe that we can actually do something to take a huge bite out of this. I didn't mean to use the bite, with hunger, but we can actually, but anyways, that we can do something about the hunger issue, and it's for real in our community, that we can either see an end to this or if the need is being met, then that's when we started seeing people come on board more and more.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So more maybe attracting with the mission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's just being a good communicator on vision, on what you're doing, and a passion. And you can't fake passion. You're either all in or you're not.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something, the staff and the people who dedicate themselves here at this food bank are all in. They're all in.
I gotcha. And you said that, it took years and years and years of incredible hard work. I would imagine that's one of the key components is the quality and quantity of man hours put in to build this.
It did. There were times we didn't have a forklift. In the beginning, we didn't have trucks. We didn't have forklifts. We didn't have a bay door. Oh my gosh, we brought product in through normal walk-through doors, and
a person at a time.
We didn't have shopping carts.
Oh gosh.
And if you would have seen the dedication of the men and the women that used to come in here, and we used to put their groceries in a tub, and they would put it on their shoulders and take it out to the car. We've come a long way.
It might be easier than pushing the cart through that lot.
It is easier to push the cart through the lot. It's easier with a bay door and a forklift and trucks and we wouldn't have been able to accomplish all of this without thanking Feed More and thanking our main grocery store chains that donate to us. Publix being one of the newest that has come on board, and of course the Krokers and the Walmarts and the Food Lions, and people, it's still hard to believe that I still have to purchase food on a weekly basis to still meet the need of the people, because even with the donated product, it's not enough.
That's crazy.
It's not enough. So that's why we do need our financial support. We need to be able to keep the trucks on the road. We have a very small staff. We have a paid staff of 3 administration people, 2 truck drivers and a warehouse person, and thousands of volunteers.
8,000.
Well, registered. We don't have 8,000 all at the same time.
Well, that'd be a problem.
Yeah, that would be a problem. but our financial resources is huge to us. We've done a good job, and well, it's not even us. Our community has done a good job on jumping on board and helping out with the food and volunteering. But now, in order for the food bank to grow and to be the organization we need for it to be years from now, past me, and we're leaving a legacy here in Chesterfield that people are going to be able to depend on for years.
Nice. So that's crazy, because something that's big is usually centered around somebody like you that's driven it. So, the fact you'll be able to pass that on because it's such a established kind of entity is great.
Yeah, and we have great folks and leaders in the community that have come on board as far as our board of directors. The growth, I sit back sometimes, I cannot believe, the days of when we didn't hardly have anybody and we worked so hard, and we still are working hard, but the people that have come on board and the companies that have come on board and just the support from organizations and individuals. I mean, we couldn't live in a more kinder community. I'm so proud to have the food bank sitting here in Chesterfield and doing what we do here.
That's awesome. So what would you say some of your biggest challenges to growth have been? Besides resources, I'm sure that's the easy one, or the biggest one.
Well, one of the biggest challenges is probably because so many volunteers help run the food bank. Sometimes we, processes and procedures and skill levels, and but at the same time, they're willing to, because they have the passion, they're willing to learn. And so that might take longer as far as growth is concerned, but it's worth it, because people that are running the food bank and who are working it every day are those that have grown with it, and they love the food bank.
Right.
They look at it like this is their second family, their second home. And so I'm pretty proud of that. I think they're awesome. I think they're awesome in what they give to the community. Like I said, yes, we'll have challenges. We have challenges with that because we just don't hire a big staff that has all the skill levels we need. And even you saw that when we first met in Synapse. You picked up on what we were doing here, and you picked up on some needs that we had with our website, and you knew with your business that you could help, and you could be one of those that gave to help us, that would give to us and help us grow, and you did, and I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Our website looks 1,000 times better. So
I just kind of got you guys punted in the right direction, I think.
Yeah, you did. And you did a great job.
Well, thank you, Kim. So that ties into my next question is, you're one of the big nonprofits in Synapse. I'm always tooting Synapse's horn because it's been so good to me, and it's such a great networking vehicle. So talk about being a part of Synapse from the perspective of the nonprofit.
From the perspective of the nonprofit, Synapse, when I met Keith, and I realized that he wanted to take business networking in another direction to not only benefit the business owners or the professional community, but to bring awareness to the professional community about the nonprofits and about how they can give at the same time that they're networking. And so I was really interested in that. And a dear friend who was a part of the food bank and a part of the board back then, Kim Rice, introduced me to Keith.
Yep.
And she wanted to start a synapse group here. And as soon as I met them and I realized that what we were becoming a part of, we have been so blessed. And they have become like a family to us, Synapse. Our Synapse group, Hub 024, they're a great group. We like getting together with the other nonprofits. And they have been ambassadors. You're an ambassador for your Synapse group. Our group has been an ambassador for the food bank. And they go out in the community and they tell people about the food bank, or they bring in resources.
Yep.
Or they come in and help. And so Synapse has been a very big blessing to us.
And it's, what it was for me is people that were just willing to make connections, whether it meant business or it didn't. Just making those connections is so powerful. And so I can only imagine it's the same thing for the nonprofit, because people want to help the nonprofit and they see a need and they're excited to make that connection.
Well, not only does it bring the professional community together, it brings the nonprofits together. I think more nonprofits, especially in the Synapse network, work together more.
Yeah.
I mean, they are referring people to each other, no different than in the professional aspect of it. They're referring people to each other. How can this nonprofit, they have resources that another nonprofit needs. And they're helping each other where that door might not have opened up otherwise.
Yeah, they might not even known about it.
Right.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have known about each other.
The connections are what continue to be the common denominator and what all the success of Synapse is the powerful connections. It sounds cheesy, but it's not.
It's not cheesy. No. No.
All right, Kim, that's about all I had. So here's your chance for shout outs, parting words, announcements, or anything you want to bring up, because I know you got a lot in the works and probably a lot coming up right around the holiday. Well, and we have the Synapse distribution night where all the Synapse people come in and volunteer for a night before the holidays. That's tomorrow. Tomorrow night. Wow, it's coming right up.
And then we're going to socialize afterwards.
That's right.
So that's going to be fun. But yes, if you are a part of Synapse, come and help us out tomorrow night and give out food, and then we'll all you'll just feel good that you came out and helped for the holidays. But like I said, we are on the holiday. We're right here at the holidays, and we need anything somebody can do. We need finances. We need food. We're getting ready to come into our winter months. And January and February and March are hard months on households.
Okay. And that's just because of the cold.
It's because it's cold. You figure some of our clients, they're contractors or they work for contracting companies, and because of weather, they're not working, and all kinds of things. It's winter time. Seniors are having a harder time. And so they're just hard months for us. So we need every bit of help that people are willing to give us.
Yeah, we already have 12 inches of snow on the ground in
early
December, so it's probably a sign of a winter to come, isn't it?
Probably.
Oh,
probably.
It could stay away.
It can stay away. That's right. At least let us be able to move around. We don't care if it's cold, but let us be able to move around.
I'll take the non-cold too.
Yeah.
So any announcements or events that you have coming up other than that?
No, we're just getting through the holidays right now, and we're working on the new programs for the beginning of the year, and there will be more events to come for 2019, and I will make sure you're aware of them.
Absolutely, and I'll put the website in the description of the video, as well as the Facebook page, which stays pretty updated as well. And that'll be ways for people to get in touch with you, especially if they want to volunteer. The volunteer page is right off the main website,
exactly.
And it has all kinds of information of how and where and why you can volunteer. Mm-hmm. All right, that's it, Kim.
Blair, thank you.
thanks everybody for listening. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on the show, Kim. It was absolutely a pleasure. Everybody have a positive and productive day. Cheers.